Hi Lindsay, it's Thursday, September 23rd, and welcome to my kitchen. I don't really have much to talk about. I was going over things to talk about today, and I had a few ideas. First, I was going to talk about how producing a short film when you have 4 other classes is extremely difficult. I also considered talking about how much producers are underappreciated in Hollywood. Then I considered talking about how working on things that involve entertainment law when you aren't or do not have a lawyer is really difficult. Ultimately, though, I decided that all of those topics were way too boring and you just don't care. Sure, they're like the center of my world right now, but they don't have to be the center of yours. So I decided to talk about something everybody enjoys. Food! Actually, I decided to talk about how difficult it is to eat healthy on an extremely tight budget, which as a college student, I have. Which is why I've brought you into my kitchen, or at least the tiny nook in my apartment that I call a kitchen, where I will tell you about shopping on a budget while making dinner. When I moved out here, I didn't think it was going to be that expensive to feed myself. I was dead wrong. My grocery bill is actually like the most expensive thing I pay for outside of my rent. As you well know, I've been a vegetarian for more than 2 years. Vegetarian alternatives to things aren't too expensive when you consider that I'm not buying large portions of meat, which are really expensive, but it does mean that I probably buy more fruits and vegetables than most people, and those are really, really expensive. So I'm going to show you what an average meal is for me. Tonight's dinner includes soy nuggets, which are basically a vegetarian option for chicken nuggets. I will also be making frozen peas. Peas are like my favorite food. And frozen corn. These probably aren't the absolute best options for me to be eating since they mostly all contain starch, but the nuggets also contain a lot of soy protein, which is something I kind of need when I don't eat animal protein, and the peas are considered legumes, which also contain protein. You'll also notice I shop a lot at Trader Joe's, which means that all of my food is natural and organic. It makes it a little more expensive, but it also makes it a lot healthier, which I'm into. One other thing you might notice is that everything I eat is microwavable. Okay, that's false. I also eat things that you have to boil and or fry. And occasionally I saute things, but that's really, really rare. When eating on a budget, you find that most cheap things are actually microwavable food. I don't know why that is. I also don't understand our culture's fondness for irradiating our food, but I do participate in it. Corn. Now, I don't just eat starchy foods and starchy vegetables and things like that. I also have other things in my fridge. I have Smart Dogs, which are a vegan alternative for hot dogs, which are really, really tasty. And I know what's in them. Tofurkey and organic American cheese for lunch. Organic yogurt that's made with pectin and not gelatin. This is like the only kind of yogurt I can find that's not made with gelatin. It's kind of sad. It's also really tasty. Chickenless chicken strips for when I occasionally make burritos. Black beans and brown rice, also for the burrito. Assorted fruit so the vegetables don't get lonely. Breakfast cereal. And of course, what fridge wouldn't be complete without hummus? God bless the chickpea. I've noticed that when eating on a budget, you don't tend to have an extremely varied diet, so you kind of have to mix and match as much as humanly possible. Hence the burritos. I'm starting to get more healthy than I used to. I'm buying less mac and cheese and more fruits and vegetables, but mac and cheese is still really tempting. It's fast, it's tasty, it's really, really easy, and it only costs like $1.50. Well, that's all for me today. I hope to see you doing your punishment tomorrow. Note to self, let the corn cool before you eat it.